folks, welcome to the next episode of the Custom Tank Series by ALCHEMOTO. So we've done a little bit more work since the last time. As you can see, there's more masking tape on the front of the tank. We've enhanced the skull a little bit, put some black around it to bring and lift that, and actually gone ahead now, black based the scalloped sides, and we've put this stencil for the fish scales over the top, and we're just blowing in a little bit of super copper, and then we'll put some highlights in gold over the top, so I'll show you what we've done so far. Okay, so as you can see now, we've done the scallop sides in a black base coat, and we've just lifted the skull a little bit, put a little bit of black just to highlight, and then a little bit of copper tone on the top. And as you can see now, we've got the fish scale stencil, and we just started to blow in a little bit of this pearlescent super copper, and then obviously the sides here is going to be done as well. So this paint is, I get all my paints from Specialist Paints, and this is the airbrush Sparkle Pearl Super Copper. Looks a bit orangey in there, but it's absolutely fantastic paint. And the original paint that we used on the tank was the standard Sparkle Pearl Copper, and you can see they're mixed 2-to-1 with the D thinner. And the black base coat is just a standard black base mixed 2-to-1 with D thinner. But the thing about every base coat is you treat every base coat colour basically like a primer, because obviously it dries like a flat, not with a shine, and that's perfect then for going over with any detail work before you go over with your clear coat lacquer. So I'm going to go ahead now and just blow a little bit more, make sure we've got everything covered, and then we're just going to highlight a bit of gold to lift that, and then a bit more of the copper over the top and blend it in and give ourselves some shadows. Okay, so for this we're using the gravity feed airbrush. This is the Iwata Neo, usually classed as the base model of the Iwata airbrushes, but nonetheless a fantastic brush to use. Okay, and again it's a 2-stage trigger, so all we're doing here now is just a little bit more colour over. And the more coats of this pearl you put on, the brighter it'll become. So you can leave a little bit of black in it, you know, to give yourself some shadows and just highlight it in certain areas. Okay. Okay folks, so what you can see is now we're just blowing a little bit more of the gold tone over. And if we can just lift that, and there you go, that sort of gives you a little bit of the effects we're getting. So the next thing now is we're just going to highlight around the edges of the scales with a little bit of the super copper, and then a little bit of black in as well, just to tone it down a bit. And now we're using the two brushes. We're using the gold and the suction feed just to give us the colour coat, and the gravity feed just to do the more intricate work. Okay, right, so we've got the gold base now with the super copper mixed over the top in, so we've got a sort of goldy sheen, which is what I like. It's more sort of like a carp scale, and that's the look I'm going for. But what we need to do now is do the black highlights, just put a bit of a shadow edging over the scales. So for that now we just put the second cup on the suction cup, and we're just going to blow diagonally across the scales just to give it some highlight effect. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so now I've done that, we just need to put a little bit of black on the heads of each of the scales now. This is the fine work, so always make sure you just give a little test with your brush on your, that's it, on your open paper. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, you can just see now it's just starting to bring those alive. So we'll go ahead and finish that off and then give you a quick preview on that. And there we go, folks. Fantastic. So, as you can see, stencil work, not that difficult at all, it's just the preparation and how you approach your project. So with this one, it's just the three colours with the black, the super copper and the gold, and just to create that bronze look, and obviously put some highlights in there, just to make that standard stencil just look a little bit more realistic. So we're still going to do the sides and we've still got to do the tops, and then a little bit more enhancement around the skull, and then a flat down, and then see what she looks like and see if we need to just apply any more work before we go for the final clear coat. So still a lot of work to go, but we'll let that go off now, and then we'll we'll attack the side panels then in around about another half an hour. So it's time for me to go and have a cup of coffee and let that go off and see where we're up to in a bit. So yeah, see you in a bit, folks.